Hello everyone, this is Griffin G Dog, back from Nats. I had a great time. Just gonna look at some of the pictures that I took and walk through the weekend, Got the New York City skyline. It was a little foggy that day, but that's alright. Got a nice picture of the sunrise. We left very early in the morning to get there. We then had to park the car. We met a fun cat at the car park, but everything had taken so long that tragedy struck. Hey guys, missed the flight, but there's another one tomorrow, so I'll be at Nats. I'm just missing the LCQ. No worries. Whole bunch of traffic and the shuttle taking forever, but it's alright, we handled it.
We've been up since 4:45, so we're gonna turn it a little early.
See you at Nats. With having missed the flight, I decided to get some last-minute practice in. I decided to take Orange Piccolo for the day. Nothing crazy. We'll talk about the list later on. We had to stay in New York. We wanted to make sure we got somewhere nearby. We flew out of JFK Airport just to make sure we would, and stayed there just to make sure we wouldn't miss it the next day. We got Gerald playing some Breath of the Wild. Good boy. Finally made plane day 2. So we were able to make it. Flight was fine, and we landed in Dallas. We made it to Texas. We're here. Ready to go. We're just taking him in to chill, and then off to testing. Got anything?
I'm tired and I didn't have enough food today.
Yeah. Early flight and then taking forever. But we're here. We ate. See you at Nats tomorrow. Took a picture of me repping some Unison Games Cafe merch, Shout out to them. Shout out to the Swing No Combos guys. Day of, I got Gerald with me, ready to hopefully take the day by storm. Phones weren't really allowed in there, so I took only a couple pictures. This is the Masters Top Cut, where we got randoms over there. I'll zoom in on him. During the rounds, I managed to get a picture of a friend of mine, Will, playing Unix TCG. If you don't know him, he's a YouTuber. I'll put his thing up on the screen. Not the only YouTuber that I met and interacted with over the weekend. I met JTP Card Games. He's a cool guy. We're Discord friends now. We've been chatting. Maybe something will happen in the future. But, that's ended. I ended up 4-3. I was happy with myself. Here's a picture of the CT guys, We're all just happy to have been there and had some fun. Here's a picture of the prize cards, the markers, and my top 128 Frieza. And got some rest. It's done. Nationals is done. 4-3. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, you should be. I got to go to some museums, so I had a good day.
Yep, we both had some pretty good days. I got myself a Frieza and a bunch of the energy markers, and time to see where I go next.
And I got a bowl of ramen.
Ramen. So, day 2, where they did Fusion World Top Cut, there were some side events. I took Omega Shenron into the 3v3s and went 2-2 and, didn't go too well. Here's the breakdown of where it ended up. Your boy Vic ended up in 3rd. That's the only thing that this doesn't show. But Dane Reich on Omega Shenron took the event. We'll talk more about that in a bit. On the way back, we got up really early to hit the airport, having a little bit of PTSD. So we got some games in DFW airport. So there's just a couple pictures of that. He's some guys from New York, randoms. Magnus is there. I'm there. We got basically some demo games of the Omega and Orange Piccolo matchup from randoms. He's just such a good card player. And this is the deck list that I ran. Let's get into that. And this is the list. 4 Pan Superhero on play. Look at the top 3 for a superhero. Add it to your hand. The rest at the bottom. 4 1-drop Krillin for those matchups that you really need to sustain. 2 Chilai. That's really for the mirror. That's not so bad into sell either, because it means they have to spend their minusing on that and not on Beast Gohan. 2 Kami, also kind of for the mirror, so that on the 9 energy turn, after my opponent has played a Beast Gohan, I can Kami first, blow up a Chilai, and then play my Beast Gohan. So that ended up well. 4 Gamma 1, discard, draw 2. 4 Hercule, just to get those Earthlings back. That number might go down. 3 Android 18, I think was perfect. I love that card. I think it's slept on for people that aren't running it. 4 Gamma, 4 Gohan. You need those in the deck just so you hit your ramp pieces. 4 5-cost Gamma, because 10k. 3 5-cost Piccolo. I wanted to swap to 2 of that card, but it was too late to edit my deck list, or I did not know how to edit my deck list for this event. That's alright. 2 of the 7-drop Gohan for those times that you need it, especially going second. 2 Nameku Double Striker for super combos, and 4 Beast Gohans. Nothing terribly spicy. Just as far as ratios go, I went full on Earthlings because I wasn't running any Bulmas or anything. I talked about Chilais for the mirror. A couple of changes I would make. I would take out 1 Piccolo just because it's a 0 and add a Gohan. This is listed as 50 cards. Didn't want to go any more than that. You know, I went 4 and 3. Let's talk about my matchups. Round 1 was a loss. I lost to Cooler, and this one is on me entirely. So going second, I didn't recognize that if I had played Gamma, so turns were, turn 1 Cantrip, turn 2 Gamma. I was on good curve. I had all my pieces in hand. Turn 3, play Ramp Gamma, and then I go to turn 4 where I have 5 energy. What I should have recognized here is that at this point, he's already so established with his 3-cost and Awakened, so that he can, each time that he uses leader skill, he's drawing an additional card, so he's not going down to use the leader skill. If I had played 5-cost Gamma, that would have given me way more tools to combo out of things, because I would have been a bigger on the backside. And would have blown up that card. He didn't have another one available. So he got a lot of value out of that card that he didn't need to have. And since I was going second, the next turn, I could have used Marker on 7-drop Gohan to blow up 2 of his 4 costs. That would have blown up a Metacooler and a King Cold. Had I done that, I probably would have come away with the game, because that was the majority of his board. He didn't play a lot of things. He just played a few big things fast that I couldn't answer in time. So that one's on me. Round 2, I played another kind of weird yellow deck, Golden Frieza. That game wasn't terribly difficult for me. They were playing a little slower, which meant I was able to hit my ramp and hit my pieces and dominate the game. Next round after that was Yellow Vegeta, which is super fun. That's my favorite deck. So he wasn't able to missequence me, like I'm sure he wanted to. And he was playing weirdly fast, which was weird because, I'll talk about it now since we're talking about game speed. Don't slow play, and don't slow play, especially when people are watching you. It's rude, I would say. There's playing for time. I understand as a Vegeta player that, you go to time, you have to play a different game. But you shouldn't be playing your game obnoxiously slowly for benefit, because of the strict 5 minutes is the end of actions. It can lead to some salt and some things happening. So just play at a regular pace. Play, to win in time. That's fine. But don't, you don't have to check absolutely every aspect of the game state before making every decision to waste time, especially if people are watching you. But regardless, I took the win on that one. Then I ran into Nate, unfortunately, in round 4, and the matchup with Piccolo and Broly is actually really hard if you don't go first. I'll explain it right now. If you go first, on Broly's turn 4, which is after your turn 4, they'll play their first 4 cost and evolve it into an 8-drop. And then you go to your turn 5, which you should, if you hit Perfect Curve, play your Beast Gohan and blow up their 8 cost. Making it so that you have everything online and aren't struggling. You can go, Gohan into Piccolo or Gohan into Gammas, something like that, just so you make sure you have your redirect available. Now, the Broly matchup, when you go second, they get their turn 4, where they get to play things. Then you get your turn 4. Then they get their turn 5, where they get to play things, and you get your turn 5 after that. So you aren't playing a beast until they have 2 things on board, so you're losing the tempo game. Now, it's especially more difficult when you don't hit the Gohan ramp like I did. I did not hit the Gohan ramp. So that's the thing with this deck, is that if you miss the ramp, it's a lot slower. And a lot of decks can capitalize that on that moment, and Broly's one of them. I didn't get a chance to play a Beast Gohan. It just didn't happen. No shame on Nate, though. It was a great game, and it's always great to play against him. Just unfortunate that we had to see each other when we're both doing pretty alright. And then after I played Nate, I played a mirror match, and then another mirror match. I did really well into the mirror matches. This is probably a good time to talk about another little judge ruling. I'm going to put Beast Gohan up on the screen. On play, place 5 of your energy into their owner's drop. : choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it into its owner's drop. Then add up to 5 cards at the cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. So there are some missequencing things that can happen that can cause you to get a judge called on you. I had to call a judge on my first mirror match. So what happened in some games, and some people that have posted videos have talked about it, people were shortcutting their Beast Gohans. So technically speaking, you have to place the 5 energy, then declare target, then put the 5 energy back. Now, if you're doing this all in like one action, you play the Beast Gohan, indicate your target, and then do the energy thing, most people are fine with it. Now, what you can't do is just tap 3 energy. So I'll do this at locals, where I will tap 3 energy and say, is it okay if I just shorthand it for time? And they'll usually say yes. At a Nats level event, absolutely not. Do not do that. That is not okay. You have to go through the emotions. Even if it seems weird and silly, just go through it. It's not worth the judge call and potential game loss. So what my opponent had done, they had used this is a separate thing. They didn't shorthand it. So what my opponent had done, they didn't shorthand it or anything, but they tapped the marker along with the energy for the Beast Gohan and counted that as one of the energy they put back. They put in their drop, and then brought 5 more back. So they ended up +1 on energy, which is a no-no. That is not how it works. Energy marker is not an energy. You can hear us talk about it on the podcast coming up this Tuesday. So after the mirror matches, 2 wins. I see Cell last round, and this is another one that sort of just, I got unlucky. Kind of looked the game into Nate. I was just a little unlucky. I played Cell, and I lost. I missed Gohan ramp, but I played Gohan turn 5. And Cell is not swinging that big enough, and I was blocking hits early on, that I was stabilizing, and going into Beast Gohan, I was going fine. I was keeping up with them because they had self-destructed some of their things early, as to not leave things on board for me to Beast Gohan and to swing at, and to force me to awaken them. So the game was going smooth. However, I played Beast Gohan, do the energy thing, remove his Cell, and then I go to use the energy, and I have like 4 Hercules in my hand at this point, maybe 3. But I check my drop, and I only have 1 pan. I'd only seen 1 pan that game. And for the next 3 turns, I continued to only see that 1 pan. So the Hercules kind of sat dead in my hand. I was not gathering cards. I was not getting card advantage against Cell, and that's the way that you keep up with them until you can swing 50 a bunch of times, and I wasn't able to search for more Beast Gohans because I only had the one Pan. I didn't have more Earthlings, I couldn't stun their things with Krillin, I couldn't draw more cards with Pan, no +1s with Hercule. It was kind of out of my control, but I still played the game the best I could, but still got there in the end. So, takeaways from Nats for the year. I want to shout out Will for encouraging me to do better. After all was said and done, I was like, you know what? I set out to win as many times as I lose, and I did. I went 4-3, so I had a positive win record, which is what I was striving for. And then Will, afterwards, I'm like, all right, I did what I wanted. And he's like, no, man, we're better than this. You're better than this. We can do more. I said, well, I appreciate that a lot. All I can do from this point is shoot for a 5-2 record next year, right? Get a little better each time. That's all I can try to do. As a little bit of a news, I guess, I got a Masters deck, so I might start playing some of that too. And meeting some of the Masters folks and playing games. It should be a good time. It's actually a really fun game. I didn't play it. I went straight into Fusion World. Fusion World's still going to be the main game. Just Masters on the side, since I'm already traveling. I may as well try the Masters as a side event, right? I'm glad I got to go on this journey and compete at an event of this level and do reasonably well. I never felt like I was doing bad, except for game 1, where I realized I had not played that matchup correctly. But the rest of my games, some luck into play. That's the thing with Orange Piccolo, is that if you don't hit your pieces, it kind of doesn't do the thing. So there's only so much. I can't be upset about it. Had I saw another Pan or a Krillin, I probably would have won that game into Cell. Had I hit my 4-cost Gohan ramp into Broly, I might have won that game. But that's alright. That's what happens when you play a deck with a specific curve. You don't see the pieces, and then the game plan is slowed significantly. But all in all, thanks anyone that watches. Thanks anyone that listens to the pod. You'll hear us talk about that in a little bit more of a long-form discussion. But thanks for stopping in and watching. Bye-bye.